Good morning, dear students. So, in this session, we'll start with planning coordination in prefabrication system. So, in this planning coordination, in the sense, this planning stage, which will be used in entire stages of a building concepts. So, since from starting till to complete a particular building by using this prefabricated animals, how well we can plan and implement those things in the construction process. So, it is very important to have the precast erector as well as the installer and builder working together to achieve a best performance. So this coordination in the planning stage, so here various aspects will come such that even in the manufacturing stage we need to store a particular materials in the manufacturing site or else factory, what we will call. So there also we should have a proper coordination between a owner of that factory or that manufacturing site as well as the supplier to give the raw materials, and the coordination between the other departments such as the erecting department as well as the installation department, the coordination between the transportation department as well as the manufacturing site. Like, so we are having the certain coordination especially in the part of the planning system. So in that we'll study the one by one how well we can plan in the prefabricated concepts. So in that first point, that is check for site accessibility and precast panels which deliver to the site, especially for the low bed trailers. So here we need to check the accessibility of in the site, because so once we supply the any building components from the manufacturing site or else from the factory to the location, so that construction location it should be having the certain places to store these particular building components. So because that particular place what we are going to store, so that it should be firm such that it should take all the loads whatever it will get deliver from the structural components. And here check whether the adequate space for temporary storage before installation and ground conditions. So here whatever the structural components will supply from the factory to the construction site, so in that construction site it should be having the temporary storage there. So whether we need to check whether they will be having the temporary storage, because if we are installing the materials tomorrow means today we will supply those structural components. So soon after reaching to the construction location directly we can't shift that one from the transporting vehicle to the required location. So till that time we will be storing that one to the required location, such that we need to select that temporary storage area in a better way. Okay. And the uneven ground which will cause the overstress as well as the crack in the panels. So uneven ground in the sense that storing place or else that storage place, it should be having the even surfaces such that whatever the loads will come, it should be distributed evenly to the ground. So if any undulations are there, or what we can say, any undulations or else if uneven ground surfaces are there, that time whatever the load will get generate, it won't distributed equally to the ground. So that time the cracks may get developed because of the over stresses and all, right? So we need to select the places such that it should be even in its surface, as well as it should be capable to bear the the load coming from the structural components. And moving to the next part, that is after storing places you'll be having planning of crane arrangement. So here planning of crane arrangements, in this part plan the crane capacity and lifting gears which is based on the heaviest weight of precast panel. So we need to select the cranes here such that depends upon the weight of that structural element we should select the which type of crane we require, whether it is using in high rise buildings, so extra boom length uh, cranes we should select to lift that one from bottom section to the top floors there. So like that depends upon the height of the building or else depends upon the weight of the structural element, we should have we should select the cranes here. And we should check even the lifting height also. So lifting height is nothing but here in this diagram you can see the lifting height, which is nothing but the height from the ground level to the tip of that boom of crane. Okay, so crane will be having that boom, so till that tip whatever the height will get generated from the ground floor, so that is what we can call it as the lifting height. So we should check the lifting height of that particular, I mean the lifting capacity with respect to the height by that crane, and then we should select that cranes for the erection purpose. And next one is the working radius. So in this diagram you can see the working radius means what? It is a distance between the erecting element from the crane by using that boom to the place where exactly it stands at a particular place. So that the distance. So here you can see the working radius. So this is the distance between that object or structural element to the that place where that exactly crane will get located. So even we should check this working radius also, that particular place as well as that crane should be having the sufficient working radius such that even though it is with a extra radius or else the larger radius, it should be capable to withstand that all the consequences it will cause in the erecting part. So and this working radius, it should be free from all the obstacles such that whenever we will lift the materials, it should not cause any disturbance in the erection part. So like that we should select the crane part here, and position of crane in relation to the final panel location. So once we start lifting the cranes, so that cranes it should be steady at a particular place. So we need to select that particular place such that the distance between that storage of that panels or else whatever the structural elements to the required place where exactly we are going to store that one, I mean where exactly we need to install that one, right? So that distance it should be easy, I mean it should be less in its span. So like that we need to select a place of the crane where exactly we need to place that, and we need to select the final crane location such that no obstacle should be there in between that movement of the object from the storage places to the required location. And planning of other equipment. So here we can use other type of the equipment such that you can see the boom lift as well as the scissor lift. So this is a equipment, we will call it as boom lift. So here boom lift, usually this one it will prefer at the time of where the unhooking of installed panels. So usually in the installation process, what it happens, we will place the hooks to the riggers, and then by using the lifting gears, and then we will erect that one. So later we need to unhook that one from the installed panels. So by to unhook that particular installed panels by using the lifting gears, so we will be using these equipments, because you can't go with a crane and you can unhook those particular elements from the lifting gears. So we can use other type of the equipments. So here you can see the boom lift. This is the diagram of boom lift, and this is a scissor lift. So at this particular platform, a people or else the concerned departmental members can stand here and they can go there, and then they can unhook those particular hooks from the construction members. And here even we can use the other type of the equipment such as the lifting gears and all. So these are the different types of the lifting gears can be used in the erection part. So this lifting gears, usually it can be used to lift a particular elements or structural components. And moving to the next part, that is skilled laborers. So here in skilled persons they have given. So in that first one is competent crane operators, riggers, and then signal, etc. So here they need to concentrate more on these particular words, that is competent crane operators. So he will be working based upon the signaled person, and this signaled person, whatever you can see in the image here, so this person will be giving the directions to the both crane operators as well as the riggers. So riggers are nothing but what? So rigger, in the sense, they are the people where they will be pulling that particular elements to the required location, which one it has been attached to the particular lifting or erecting equipment such as cranes and all, right? So in this competent crane operators, so here competent crane operators, in the sense, being competent, which means what? An operator, he has to be demonstrated how to safely we need to operate that particular crane, and we need to that particular operators, they need to inspect them and then maintain a specific machine for the erection purpose. In one case we can say that an employer which was who was hired a certified tower crane operator, he have to be operate its tower crane. However, the employer who did not require the operator to demonstrate competency before using the crane. So first we need to give the certain directions to the crane operators, such that how exactly it will get works out, because every crane which will get operate with a different inputs there, right? So depends upon that. First we should get the crane operator should get the training, and then they should be operatable there. And rigger, in the sense, so he is a person who will call rigger, who usually pull that particular structural element by using the different lifting gears, by using the cables also. So at the required location, the cranes, it can't possible to place that one, right? So crane which is not possible to place the exact to the exact location, so here riggers are required. I mean, the people are required just to pull up that particular structural element, and they need to store that one, they need to place that one at the required location. So signal, so here signaler person you can see, so he will be giving the directions both to the crane operators as well as this to the rigger. So depends upon his direction, the crane operator will start moving that particular machine, and depends upon his directions, even rigger also will be pulling that element. So here rigger, how we can define, in the sense, he is a skilled trade person who specializes in the assistance of manual mechanical advantage device, which comprising by using pulley and block and tackle, or motorized such as crane or derrick or chain hoists, right? So or else even we can say it as a capstan winch. So here usually it means what? This is a manual force, or else it's a manual mechanical energy. By using a person's energy there, they can pull up that one to the required location, and then they can place that one at the required place there. And then next part, that is signaled. So signaled, or else the role of signaler, or even we can call it as a slinger also. So the role of signaler is to connect a lifting accessories to the hook of lifting equipment, that is crane what we can call, and to provide the certain instructions in the form of signals or with a verbal communication to the crane operator while guiding traveling a load from the lifting point to the landing point, or it may be a part of the total distance. So since from lifting that particular element to the ground till to locate that one at the required location, so everything which is be directed by this signaled person. And moving to the next part, that is the general considerations of crane selection. So before selecting the crane selections, we'll be having a certain conditions here. So depends upon that conditions, we will select a crane for the erection purpose. First one is total lifting weight. So first we need to check the weight of the structural member here. So whether a particular crane what we have selected, so whether it is capable to lifting this particular weight of elements or not, and we need to check the crane models there. And then crane safe working load, that is SWL, which is based upon the 15% capacity built in factor of safety, that is 1.33. So here whatever the loads are there, that particular crane it should be having a factor of safety that is up to 1.33, right? So that much factor of safety that crane should be having, such that with respect to the loads it should not cause us any damages in the erection part. And lifting capacity, which must be 1.5 times of the total weight. For example, here lifting capacity in the sense a particular member which is having around 1 ton weight. Okay, so you just take our example 1 ton of the weight. So here they have given the factor of safety that is 1.5 times. So if a particular member will be having a total weight that is with 1 ton, but that capacity of the crane it should be having up to 1.5 tons. So like that we need to consider cranes. And then lifting and swing radius. So here lifting and swing radius we need to check, because a certain cranes or lifting equipments will be having the smaller working radius, so it can't be reaches to the required location. So that time it will be, the contractors or the managers will be facing the difficulties. First we need to check the crane specifications, such that how much will be the lifting and swing radius there. And then the crane counterweights. So here crane counterweights, which is nothing but the equivalent counterbalancing weight. So here we need to check how well it can be counterbalancing the weight of the load. So its purpose is to make the lifting and load which will be in a more efficient way. So even it saves some of the energies, and which is less taxing on the lifting machine. So this counterweight, whatever it is there, it should be well known to withstand that particular loads. Next thing is crane boom length, which is relation to the vertical and the horizontal clearance from the building. So here the crane will be having certain boom length. So if you have brought the cranes which is having the extra boom length, so we can be minimize that one with respect to the operation there. So in case the working radius is very small, if we have brought the bigger cranes will be having larger boom length, so then it is difficult to operate at the it's a steady position. So in this case we need to check the crane boom length, which is relation to the vertical as well as the horizontal clearance. So if it is in a larger in its boom length, then even the working radius also it requires more. So first we need to check the site accessibility, and then we should select the cranes here. And next thing is the installation process. So coming to the, now the erection part is over. Now we need to store that, we need to place that one at the required location. That is the installation process. So again in this installation process it is divided in installation of the vertical components as well as the installation of the horizontal components. Okay.